A couple days ago, I saved this video with the intention of making this video sooner. Did you know that there are 300 kids in Atlanta a month that are victims or subject to sex trafficking? Did you know that 39 were saved the other day? And did you know that there are over 100,000 fugitives that are brought in through just this program alone through the Marshals Department? Watch this. I'm kind of speechless. People talk about how the children don't need to be saved. Oh, hashtag save the children. That's a conspiracy. If you think that, pedophile rings are running the things that influence politics and the economy and entertainment and all those things, the tentacles of the octopus that is the ugly pedophilia and cannibalism around the world. The same things, oddly enough, that they asked the president about a week or so ago, where they said, "Sir, can you speak to these conspiracies of you going after cannibals and Satanists and pedophiles?" And he was like, "Well, what would be so bad about that? What would be so bad if we just went after all these pedophiles?" And you've seen the arrests, right? Where it's like, here are the arrests under Bush, here are the arrests under Obama, here are all of these pedophiles being arrested under Donald Trump. Okay. So then watch this. This is 39 children being saved, and he talks about others that have been since identified and located and are being saved. This is really impressive, but the other numbers that you need to hear it for. There are about 300 kids monthly that are subject to this kind of stuff. They only saved 39 of them just the other day.
Rescue or recovery of 39 children. Let's listen.
Just wild.
Health Care of Atlanta Medical Director, Dr. Stephen Messner is behind me. Thank you, Doctor, for coming. Let me say a few words, and then Attorney General Carr will say a few words, and then the GBI Assistant Director John Melvin will speak, and then after him, Dr. Messner with the Children's Health Care of Atlanta will say a few words as well. So why are we here? We're here because we conducted an operation, as I said, in this geography. We recovered 26 missing and endangered children, and we safely located an additional 13, and we arrested 9 criminals that are involved or were involved with these missing children. In the process, we cleared 26 arrest warrants. We filed additional charges for alleged crimes related to sex trafficking, parental kidnapping, registered sex offender violations, drugs and weapons possession, and custodial interference. Some of the names, and this is not all of them, but
just so that is clear, they're talking about people who are themselves the parents of these kids, who are abducting other kids and raping and abusing their own kids and kind of doing this little daycare collection of victims and then exploiting them. So you may have 10 kids locked in your basement, or in this case, 26 of them, with 13 others in another location. And of those 26, 2 might be yours. That's what he's describing here. And so there are 9 individuals that they arrested, and of those 9, some of them are parents of the kids.
Some of the defendants, there's one, Kirk Waters, as an example. He was arrested for being while in the company of one of our recovered children. He was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He's incarcerated. His bond has been denied. Zachary Bailey is another name.
Bond has been denied. That's a great thing to hear. He will be in prison. He'll be in jail awaiting his trial and stuff, and then he'll be in prison. So they're giving him every opportunity to get shanked.
He was arrested and charged with sex trafficking of a juvenile, among other alleged crimes. He's also incarcerated. And the third name that I'll mention here, as I said, there are others. The third name is Stanson Causey. He was arrested for a probation violation. The original charge was child molestation. He's now also incarcerated. Now, a lot of people contributed to this operation, without whom this operation would not have been successful. I want to personally thank Commander Jim Joyner, who I can see back behind you there, Deputy Commander Dennis Durando, and the missing child unit chief, she's smiling behind her mask, Chief Darby Kirby. These were all super folks who were instrumental in carrying out this operation, in conducting the training, the planning, and then the actual operation itself being done in a truly noble, professional, and an outstanding way. I'm very proud of what they were able to accomplish in the short time that we were on this operation. Now, as successful as this operation was, there is a harsh reality here, though. And the harsh reality is, gee, why are we doing this in the first place? Why do we have missing, endangered children? The stats are that in every 40 seconds, there is a child abducted in the United States. Every 40 seconds. And so I kind of like to keep the math straightforward. I'll round that up just for grins here today and call it every 60 seconds. That means that every minute that I speak, one child is abducted in the United States of America.
Damn. Damn. Think about that. Do that math for yourself for a second. Because whenever someone says, like, oh, you don't have to worry, like, when you talk about those pedophile things again, like, why would you really think that? Do you really think that all the banks, do you really think that the Hollywood people, do you really think that, ask them, do you really think that anywhere from 600 to 800,000 kids go missing? That's reported. So round it up. Just round it up to 1 million. Just say, hey, reported, you got to think about unreported, right? The left loves the unreported number. So say that. Say, hey, do you really think 1 million kids just poof, go away? Where do you think they go? That's 1/3% of the country gone every year, just from kids. So it's not evenly proportioned out. You know, it's not an even proportion across each intersection of the country. It's 800,000 kids, minors, little kids. So, fuck. Ask them that. Oh, do you really think that these, conspiracies? Do you really believe that 1 million kids just go missing with no explanation? No. And what he is trying to explain and express is there's a reason they have to go out and do these raids. Because this isn't just a one and done little operation where it's a couple abusing a kid. These are a whole bunch of groups. This is a gang operation and a collective of kids that they had to go in and rescue out of like this big, boiler room operation. It's disgusting.
According to the FBI stats, they gather stats from around the country that are reported to them. There are over 421,000 missing children that are reported as I stand here now. Of those reported, 90%, 91% actually, are considered endangered runaways. Now you can do the math. That's about 360,000 endangered children in this country. And of that 360,000, 1 in 6 of them, now do the math again, that's 60,000, is likely to become a victim of sex trafficking. 60,000, that's unacceptable. Now these are not children that...
Why are we afraid of schools giving our kids COVID when kids don't have bad reactions to COVID? We should be so much more concerned with the teachers sleeping with the students, because we know that sex trafficking occurs so much more frequently and prevalently in children than dumb things like the flu or the Wu flu or others.
That are in some faraway land. These are children that are not, they're not somebody else's kids, right? I have children, I'm sure many of you do as well. These are not my kids, right? And these are not your kids, but actually they are our kids when it's all said and done.
Bingo.
And so we have to accept them as our kids because they are America's children, and they're kids that we need to go and find. Right here in Atlanta, approximately 300 young girls are lured into sex trafficking every month. Now, you can do the math on that as well.
What? Hey, Atlanta, where's your fucking riot over that? I see your Wendy's is burning down because guy got a little bit too robotussy as he got behind the wheel. By the way, that guy abused kids. They riot for that. No riots for the 300 girls that go missing a month, that get lured into sex trafficking a month. It's not always going missing. You know, sex trafficking occurs when someone just sneaks out of their basement every month because they're being blackmailed with nude pictures or a video or what have you. There was a story about a girl who had been drugged at a party she went to. There was a video taken of her being abused. Then they held it over her head and said, you'll sneak out and you'll come and fuck that guy and fuck this guy and fuck that guy. And they hoed her out. And she just was living with her parents, sneaking out in the middle of the night to go. And during school, she was 17. So if you think this doesn't happen where the kid's still around, you're wrong. The 60,000 people that are lured in a year, the 300 girls in Atlanta a month, a lot of it looks like that. A lot of it looks like, you know, LaQuisha sent her nudes and then someone else got a hold of those nudes. And now she's sucking dick because otherwise they're going to go online. And she thinks they'll all go viral. Everyone thinks everyone's business is going to matter. Everyone thinks, oh my gosh, if my texts, if my emails, if my pics got posted, I'd be ruined. People don't give a shit about your individual stuff, your individual drama, but they all think it matters. So when someone gets blackmailed with a nude or with a video or whatever, they think it's their life or death. And in high school and in younger middle school, it's even worse because you think for the short amount of time you've been alive that everything matters so much about you and your reputation, all these other things you've been told, you know, everything is permanent, everything's forever and everything online. So if you told a freshman in high school, if you had a video of them doing something that they would never want their parents to see, that they could never get a job, they think, if it was ever posted, then what? Then you have them, right? That's what China has on all of these Democrats. So what do you think this is? This is people get into the most disgusting and heinous blackmail situations. That is what we're talking about as part of this 300 girls a month in Atlanta, because you have to imagine it's not literally 300 girls just disappearing in a month. When he's saying they're lured into sex trafficking, it means they are now becoming prostitutes right before your very eyes, and they're still in school.
Well, that's something that we need to pay attention to. And
no one's
work
doing
harder
anything
on,
about it except for
believe.
maybe these guys, the marshals.
So
Why?
this is a priority of the.
Where's the mayor of Atlanta? Where's the governor? Where are people that are doing things for the state of Georgia? Where's Stacey Abrams in this? Does she have anything to say?
United States Marshal Service. We do a lot of things. As you know, you're standing here in a building that's one of 8 regional fugitive task forces around the United States. We are responsible for bringing to justice about 100,000 fugitives every year, 100,000, in buildings and with people that are engaged in the many deaths that you have your camera sitting around as I talk here. Okay. But I'll tell you, we're very proud of bringing in fugitives, no doubt about it. But this operation of going and rescuing children, in my view, is far more important.
Done. Absolutely. Absolutely. Get the kids. Get the kids out. Then you can go in and see how many more fugitives you can arrest. The reality is, if you just have to shoot and spray high and then go in and save the kids, or, I mean, maybe that's irresponsible. And I'm joking, of course. Gas the room, get the kids out, then C4 the room. That's all. That's all I have to say. 39 kids are saved. How many more kids do you think are out there that need to be saved? If 300 are lured into sex trafficking alone in Atlanta a month, okay? It's all very quick math, but you can do it. There's 60,000 nationally, young girls that get sex trafficked, young kids that get sex trafficked. 60,000 that are exposed to it right now. 360,000, he said, that are endangered right now. Over 500,000 that are reported runaways or missing right now. How is it that the government doesn't say every kid who's reported missing or run away is considered endangered? Why are those numbers not the same? You should be asking that. If a minor is missing, they should also inherently be classified as endangered. Democrats don't see it that way. The Marshals are obviously fighting that. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to know, what are your thoughts? Where are the other kids being saved here? Can someone point that out? Also, like the video, share this video. There's some good news in this. I mean, it's that the kids are being saved. And then do everything else that you can do to keep America a